Hello, 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 hello. First of all, let me just apologize because apparently I've never done live before on YouTube. So I guess when you log in and go through all this other stuff to do a live, you gotta wait 24 hours. So live versions I can't do, but I'm gonna do this anyway and record it and upload it and hopefully it'll still get to you guys. So I wanna first say thank you to Katrina, for giving me the opportunity to be a part of her YouTube channel. It's called Where Every Voice is Heard. It is Nikki Eason here. I am the creator of the Androgynous Model, and I'm gonna be here twice a month, 2 times out of a month, to discuss the Androgynous Experience, which is just my own take on my experience with the word androgynous, how it kind of came about, things I went through in my life, and just pretty much the story behind the androgynous model and who I am and how I got to what I'm doing, today. So I'm trying my best to stay in between the time of 15 minutes, but trust and believe I do get long-winded. I'm gonna try my best. So let me just kind of get into it. Like I said, thank you guys again for all your continuous love and support. I'm so excited for this channel. If there's anybody else out there that has a story they want to tell, please hit up Katrina. She runs this channel and she should be able to get you on, because everybody needs to tell their story, right? So let's get into it. It's funny because I was born and raised in Greenville, South Carolina, in 1983. So I'm actually 34 years old right now. I'll be 35 this year. I'm a Scorpio, so if there's any Scorpios out there, what's up, Scorpio Nation? October's very own. But when I can think about how I want to kind of lay out this experience, the androgynous experience, and what I'm trying to do, I kind of want to do like a timeline almost. Like I kind of want to start with kind of childhood and kind of migrate into where I am up leading till today. And we'll just see how it goes, for God works in mysterious ways. But what I can remember, like as growing up, was I kind of always had a boyish kind of, I would say, boyish characteristics. Like I played sports. I dressed mainly in boys' clothes. I really didn't like it a lot when my mom made me wear a dress or made me put on girl clothes. I never really liked it. I don't even really remember if I had that many Barbie dolls for what I can remember. I think I like to kind of play outside and do boyish things, which in my head is like, I didn't understand. If I like to do, these type of things, then why can't I do it regardless of if I'm a girl or a boy? I just liked boyish things. I played basketball, very at a young age. And I think what made me want to do it was because of everybody saying, those sports are for boys. Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to play a boy sport? You're a girl. But I never really felt like I was a girl. I didn't feel like I was a boy. I just liked boyish things. The crazy thing is, of course, I knew nothing about the word androgynous. No, I probably wouldn't be able to say it. But I was always called a tomboy. And it's funny because it's like tomboy. Yeah, I was always called tomboyish. That's what it was described as. But as a kid, I don't think you kind of think about that whole experience with it. I think you just do whatever you like doing. And I think that's just what I did. I know that I like to be around boys, a lot. Like my dad, he was a bodybuilder. So I remember looking back, I remember certain pictures I've come across, and I used to pose and do all this stuff that was kind of very mannish, very competitive, I was super, super competitive. And I just really, really wanted to win, especially when I was going against a boy for some reason. Not because I wanted to be them, but just, it's like I wanted to say, I can do what you're doing and I'm a girl and I can do it better, Even as coming down to my birthday, which is another thing that you guys will learn about me. I absolutely love my birthday. In my younger ages, I can remember my aunt would throw me a birthday party. Aunt Loretta, love her so much. She would throw me a birthday party. And there would be so many different games and stuff that we could do. And there always was a dance contest, right? And I took that dance contest serious, you know, especially if there were other guys in it, assuming my brother. I have an older brother and older sister. Just like trying to beat them, trying to just do this, because I just felt like it just made me feel good to beat a guy at something, you know. And in my head at that time, I don't know why, I just wanted to be like, I beat you, I did this, I did that, you know. And that's kind of really what fueled, I would say, my competitive nature to be around boys, you know, in some form of fashion. Not to be like them, but to just say, I'm a girl and I can do what you do. Because maybe it hadn't clicked in my head that, you know, men's supposed to do one thing or women's supposed to do one thing. That never came across my mind. I've been on that like, if you can do it, I can do it, no matter who you are, male or female. But I also remember just getting bullied. Like, even though I like to do boyish things, it used to bother me that people used to call me a boy or say, are you a boy or a girl? And I used to be like, I'm a girl. Like, well, you are you sure? Are you a boy or a girl? And, you know, I never really, I would say, told my parents or anything that what was going on at that time. I think I just used to kind of hold it in because, one, I didn't know how to say it. Two, I wasn't sure if they was going to believe me. Three, I'm like, well, they're the ones that dress me. You know, my mom used to plait my hair, you know, like in 2 braids, which quote unquote would look kind of very boyish. I had flannel shirts, flannel shirts on, jeans, or like jumpsuits. So that's kind of boyish. I don't remember wearing dresses unless I went to like church. That's all I can remember. Not saying she didn't put me in girly stuff, but I don't remember it. Funny thing is, I came across a picture years, of course, after I started the androgynous model, which is what I'll get into, you know, as episodes go on. But apparently I took this picture when I was like young, right? I was super young, and looking at the picture, I had on a like a bluish jumpsuit. I had on a bluish jumpsuit. I had on a construction like hat, and I was holding a stuffed elephant. And the way that I was standing, I was already posing, if that makes sense. Like it was almost as if, from looking at it, it was almost as if I was getting ready to walk down the runway. And when I saw that picture, even though it was years, of course, after, you know, I started the androgynous model, it kind of started to make sense of what I was already experiencing in my childhood, you know. And I'm like, oh man, it started to make sense. Then I'm like, maybe that was all a part of it. Maybe I was already like that, and I just kind of had to find my journey and find how I'm connected to it. But I will say it wasn't the easiest because, mind you, I'm young. And you know, when you're young, you want to be friends with everyone. You want everybody to, you know, accept you for who you are. You know, you want to go out and do different things. But if you come around like certain girls and you're not doing what they're doing, immediately they don't really want to be your friend. You're not doing what they're doing. If you go around guys, same thing. Or little boys, like, why are you playing with us? You should go play with the girls. So I kind of never really knew which really way to go, but somehow I always end up playing with the little boys, you know, like sports wise. I was never really into, you know, the exploring type thing, if you know what I mean. I was never really like, well, let's do this. No, I never really was like that. I just like to be competitive and play sports and do different things that little boys did. But I got backlash from boys and girls because I wasn't like them. So I always kind of felt like I was in the middle. I just didn't know really which way, you know, to go. And this is things me looking back now and really understanding. But of course, I don't, there was only so much I could understand at that time, you know, anyway. When I think about when I first kind of started playing basketball, I was normally like the only girl, you know, on the team. If not the only, it was one out of maybe one or one other person, so a total of 2 people. But I mean, a total of 2 girls. But, you know, I took pride in that. You know, I felt like I had a sense of that I belong here, and I'm going to let you know and show you that I can do this no matter if I'm a girl. I'm going to get so good in practice and stuff so I can show people that I'm worthy of this. I can do this. So as I continue to grow up, I think that's just where a lot of things stem from. You know, I got into basketball. I even got into self-defense. Like I took Aikido. If you guys have ever heard Aikido, it's a self-defense type of karate, you know, where you learn self-defense moves to get out of chokes and holds or whatever it may be. So if you kind of can protect yourself. And it's funny because I was really into it, but my mom was like, hey, you got to choose one or the other. Either it's going to be basketball or it's going to be, you know, self-defense and Aikido. And for some reason I chose basketball. And I think I chose basketball because I got a chance to really compete. You know what I'm saying? Like play against other people. I don't think I never had that fighter mentality in me as far as like the fighting and learning different moves and doing all this. I never really had that type of spirit in me. I always, you know, wanted to just, the fighter kind of came out of me when I was competing against something, when I wanted something, you know, bad enough. So my mom said, you gotta make a choice. You gotta make a choice. Either you're gonna play basketball or you're gonna do Aikido, but you can't do both. So I chose basketball. And I just kind of went on that mission of, I'm gonna play ball and I'm gonna be good at it. And I'm gonna go to the places where other little boys play, and I'm just gonna get so good that I can make them look bad. You know how like on Love and Basketball, you know how she kind of would roll up to the court looking like a little boy, and then boom, you find out she's a girl, but she can really play. That's kind of how I was. I swear to you, like that younger part of that show was just like me, that from what I can remember. And it was just that's what I wanted to do. And like I said, looking back, I always can see like the correlation of me having masculine and feminine characteristics, but really not understanding it. Not understanding why I like to do boyish things. Not understanding why I didn't like sitting and, you know, playing with dolls. And maybe I did have like an easy bake oven, but I don't remember. It's only certain things that I remember. And most of the things that I remember is when I was doing more boyish things, which as time has gone on, looking back makes me feel like, oh, maybe that was part of the journey. Maybe that was kind of introducing me. But of course, at that age, I don't get all of that. You know, like I said, if you would have said androgynous to me, I'd have been like, yeah, and who? What? I probably wouldn't have been able to, you know, say it clearly. But I kind of started to embrace the tomboy, you know, in me, the competitor, to say, I'm a girl and I can do it better than you. You know, I'm going to play ball and I'm going to beat you on the court. I'm going to cross you up. That was the thing. I'm going to shoot a shot on you and say, oh yeah, that's a girl that did that. Because if you was a girl and you can make a boy look bad when I was growing up, oh, you was the bomb, you know. And I chased that during that time in my life growing up. And I used basketball as a tool, you know, to do that. I don't remember really being competitive, like in school. Like I never really wanted to like run for like president or run for this particular accolade. You know, like they give like awards away in school. I never really competed on that level. I just chose the sport of basketball. And I was like, I can do that. You know what I mean? And I'm going to get good at it. And there's a lot more guys that play basketball. There's not a lot of girls doing it from what I can remember. So I'm gonna choose that sport, you know? And I chose that sport. And my mission was to make boys look bad. Make them look bad, make them respect me in some type of way, because I belonged, you know? I belonged. And yeah, I'm a female, but I can do it just as good as you are. Of course, I had those guys that would still tease me. Oh, you want to be a boy. That's why you out here. And they started to treat me like that. But that wasn't the case, you know? And I never really got their respect from what I can remember when I was younger. But it was my mission to show them that I belong here. And I just got good and kept playing and kept playing. And I started the tomboy effect, I would say, from that era. But I have to tell you more later because I can't give it all to you in one episode. This is where every voice is heard. I hope you guys continue to tune in to my voice and to stay tuned for what's next, because the story behind the androgynous model that has created the androgynous experience is worth listening to. Thanks again to Katrina for allowing me the platform to be able to tell my story. I hope you guys continue to tune in and to watch and to listen to me. Hopefully by the next time I do this, it'll be live. I'm going to do it every 2 weeks. So the next time I'll be on is August the 15th at 9 p.m. So 2 Wednesdays from now. August 15th at 9 p.m. I'm going to see you guys then. I love you so, so much. And it's your girl, Nikki Eason, the mogul. This is the Androgynous Experience. Later.